Ajax have always sold some of their best players over the years, some of the best young players that could really make a difference. And you have to wonder where they would be today in terms of the Champions League if they would have already won it, if they did keep their best players. But now with their current team, they've actually made it to the semi-final of the Champions League, winning 1-0 against Spurs in the first leg. Tonight is the second leg, and if they make it, for the first time in a long time, they will make it to the final of the Champions League and play against Liverpool, the winners against Barcelona. Hey guys, Finn here. That is of course FYNN, and yeah, I've done this kind of video before with Southampton and another team where I just bring their best ex-players in, and let's get straight into this. Goalkeeper, I think the best Ajax goalkeeper that has left in recent years is Sillerson. Obviously, he is the backup goalkeeper for Barcelona, and he's done such an incredible job for Barcelona, and I think Ajax do kind of miss him. I think he was a great kind of goalkeeper for them. He is very reliable, very good with his hands, and not a bad second choice at all. Okay, the four defenders in front of him. First one on the left back side, I've got Filipe Luis. Filipe Luis has never actually had an appearance for the Ajax team, but he has won so much throughout his career. He's won the Premier League with Chelsea, he's been in the Barcelona B team, and he is a very strong player in the left back position. He is getting a bit older now for Atletico Madrid, but now that Hernandez is leaving the Atletico Madrid team, you have to wonder if Filipe Luis will have one or two more seasons as the main left back for Atletico Madrid. I think he's a solid option there at the left back position. Okay, so on the right back position, I've got Davinson Sanchez, the very young still, centre back still for Spurs. Although he is normally a centre back, he could do really well at the right back, and I just found he was one of the better options in terms of defence. I'm not just going to put some random right back in there, but Davinson Sanchez doing very well for Spurs at the moment, and he's still, as I said, a very young player, Colombian as well, so not that hard for him to get into the starting lineup for the Colombian team. And he is very good with his head, he can be very good, and he's a fast defender, which is also very good. And the two centre backs I have in this team, also Spurs players, same nation together, both Belgium. The first one, of course, Vertonghen. Vertonghen has been one of one of the Premier League's best defenders for a while now. He has fallen in recent years because of injury. He is a bit slower now, but Vertonghen has made one of the best partnerships with Alderweireld. Both of them, both Belgian, both ex-Ajax, both Spurs now. And together they've made some of the best, I would say, one of the best partnerships in the Premier League era. I think they are very strong, they are very reliable, and they really do help, I think, this with Spurs, with their defence when it comes to that. Because Spurs in recent years, they have let in one or two goals more than they should have. But overall, I think Spurs are doing really well. They need to improve. I think Pochettino could be in serious trouble if he does not win the league very soon, or if he does not come in the top 3 next season, because I think at this stage Spurs might come 4th. But overall, I think that defense is very solid. 3 of them are Spurs players now, which just show that I think Spurs are doing very well in terms of the decisions they make. And there's another Spurs player coming up a bit later. I think you all know who that is. Okay, moving to our midfield. 2 of the midfielders I've put in now is, okay, the first one is Eriksen. He's another Spurs player, one of the top assist makers this season, always in a Premier League team of the season. He is that good. His creating ability is phenomenal. I just love the way he plays with the ball and the way that he can move it with his feet. He's tactically great, and for his national team as well, for Denmark, he is superb. He has made, in a previous video I have made a while ago, in the best Scandinavian players list, which of course I'll put at the top there. You guys can check that video out. And yeah, just tell me your opinion on that, okay? Okay, the midfielder I'm putting next to Eriksen, I was going to put De Jong because he is leaving at the end of the season to Barcelona, but because he is still there, I will put the ex-captain Klaassen. I think Klaassen's one of their best players. I think they do probably miss Klaassen quite a lot. Klaassen went to Everton for a year, really didn't do well now, and now he's at Werder Bremen in the Bundesliga. I think he should make a return to Ajax. I think that's exactly what they need. Their ex-captain, and he really was a great player for them, but has fallen since he has left the club. Okay, now I've got 2 wings on either side. Okay, the first one I've got Promes. He's now at Sevilla. I think he could have gone to a bigger club. He really has shown a lot. The Dutch player, I think He really is tactically very good, very fast. You see that when he plays for the national team, but I think he could have made a move to a much bigger club. He's still really good with his tactical ability, but as I said, I think it's a wasted opportunity that he went to a club like that and not to a bigger club. Okay, now on the left wing side, still very young, still has to prove himself. But just in terms of if they could sign ex-players again, I think they would get Kluivert back. Obviously, he is son of the legend Kluivert himself. But I don't think he'll ever reach the status that his dad did. That's not against him, it's just the fact that his dad was very good. Kluivert now plays for Roma, just recently left the Ajax. But you could still see a lot of promise in him, and I think you're going to have to see over time whether he develops into the player we expect him to be. Okay, 2 strikers next. The first one is Luis Suarez, one of the best strikers of all time. Him and Cavani in that Uruguayan partnership is one of the deadliest strike forces in the world. Not to mention his Barcelona strikership with Messi and whatever players playing on the wing next to him. Of course, he'll always be remembered for that 3 partnership, the one with Neymar, Suarez, Messi, the MSN. I think many people still miss that quite a lot. But yeah, sadly Barcelona are out of the Champions League, and Suarez won't get another Champions League winners medal because they did go out to his ex-team Liverpool last night, which, I mean, as a United fan, kind of hurt me. Okay, but overall I think Suarez is one of the best in the world. He is aging a bit, which is sad, but you know what? He had a very great long-lived career, and I think Ajax really wish they still had a striker like him. Finally, the man, the myth, the legend, a man who's also in the Scandinavian team. They say Zlatan Ibrahimovic drove his mom home after his own birth. They say Ibrahimovic had the ability to count to infinity twice. Yes, that's it. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, one of the best strikers of all time, extremely underrated. And I was thinking, I'm going to ask you guys, and you guys vote on the poll above, whether you think I should do a Zlatan Ibrahimovic documentary series where I talk about each of his times at each of the clubs. So I'll have an episode dedicated where I tell you all about his career at Ajax, and I tell you all about his career at Milan, and I tell you all about, all of that, and I just tell you the true Zlatan Ibrahimovic story, because he is one of my favorite players of all time. A super top scorer. He's doing so well in the MLS now, one of the top scorers. Of course, lots of them are from penalties, but he's reliable when it comes to that. Sadly, didn't spend too long at Manchester United since he got his leg injury, but one of the best playmakers in history, one of the best goal scorers, a true legend of the game. And if you look at this team as a whole, it is an incredible team, and I think that this team could, without a doubt, win the Champions League. And now we have to wonder, will this current Ajax team win the Champions League? I mean, it's time will tell. And if you guys did enjoy this video, you can check out the other ones. And please do subscribe. Thank you so much for helping me hit 100 subscribers. I have made a how I got my first 100 subscriber video. You guys can check that as well. I hope you do enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. This has been Finn, FYNN. Cheers.